Hello, dear friend, and welcome to your weekly astrology horoscope for the very first week of March. Yes, a new month, hopefully more luck with definitely a new type of energy coming ahead, and actually a pretty positive one. I hope you have watched your monthly horoscopes. If you haven't done that, please go to my channel, watch your monthly horoscope. Actually, March seems pretty positive. We have only one major challenging aspect towards the end of the month and many positive aspects. This week, we are starting with the ingression of Mars in a new sign. Mars is moving to Gemini, which is actually good news because for the last 2 months, actually since the beginning of this year exactly, Mars moved to Taurus. And that's a weak position for Mars, which means that maybe we were a little slow in terms of the decisions that we are making or the actions that we are taking, or things are just not moving as dynamically as we want. Mars in Taurus has its own positive sides, of course, but none of this is about braveness, courageousness, and risk taking. Now, with Mars moving to Gemini, which is a more comfortable position, I think that we will experience more variety in our lives, more flexibility when it comes to the decisions we are making or the direction that we would take. So Mars can really trigger our thinking, our thoughts, our ideas. It can really push us to do something that is related to other people. It could be friends, it could be your community, or anything else that connects you with a social group, with other people. So, for intellectual projects, for anything that has to do with communication, nowadays I would say social media for sure, Mars in Gemini can really help us to be more active, to take certain steps, to be braver, to be more focused on this proactive approach. So that's kind of the key event of the week. We also have a conjunction between Jupiter and Mercury, which is actually a pretty impressive one, and a combination which can help us to focus on some long-term goals, on our idea about the future, to make big plans, to learn new information, to be more optimistic, to be more positive about the future. So it's really kind of like a mind opening aspect towards positivity and something new, and kind of like a more philosophical perspective, which can really bring us the opportunity to find some original solutions, because the conjunction happens in Aquarius. And this is the sign of innovations and change and different perspectives. And it's kind of a futuristic sign. So this can really help us when it comes to the plans or the ideas that we may focus on specifically during this week. Overall, in communication, things might be quite dynamic during the whole week. So first, Mars is moving to Gemini, and also we have this amazing conjunction between Mercury and Jupiter, which is in Aquarius. So overall, open your mind for new ideas, for inspiration, for a change, but also be proactive in those areas. And another thing which I also find pretty interesting during this week is that there are two major aspects that will trigger the nodes. The Sun will have a square with the nodes, and Mercury will have a trine with the North node. And when the nodes are triggered, it's time for some more radical changes or reassessments. The North Node is related to our future orientation, related to the area where we can grow, the area where we are supposed to focus and expand. So it's pretty rare to have two major aspects triggering the nodes which are so close to each other. And that also means that the week can be pretty important, especially when it comes to your long-term vision and direction. What do you want to manifest in your future? How would your life to be? How would you like your life to be in 1 year or even a longer time? First of all, we have conjunction between Mercury and Jupiter in Aquarius, so that's bringing the focus to the future. And also the nodes are triggered by the Sun and Mercury, so lots of reassessments and perhaps new ideas. So pretty interesting beginning of this month. Okay, and before we actually get started with each day, I want to share with you that we are starting something brand new, an energy coaching experience. I will share more about it at the end of the video. If you are really impatient to learn about it, you can check the link below even now. All right, so let's get started with Monday. On Monday, the Sun will have a minor challenging aspect with Pluto. Overall, this aspect may bring some kind of stress when it comes to communication with authority figures or people who have more power at work and in the business environment. There may also be power struggles or things happening behind your back or things that are pretty intense. So be more careful in this area, especially if you need to communicate with those powerful, controlling people. On the other side, the moon is in Libra, which brings the focus to the harmony and the balance and the need to make some kind of compromises. And hopefully it will help us to find the balance, because the other aspect may bring some potential challenge. The good side of this Sun-Pluto aspect is that it can make you extra focused and motivated on about something. If you want to achieve something, if you want to change something, if you want to convince someone, this aspect brings lots of passion and charge and a really strong motivation. But again, there might be some possible tension on Monday. On Tuesday, Mercury in Aquarius has the trine with the North Node, which we kind of mentioned already. This is a pretty interesting aspect which can help us to think and plan our future. Where do you want to grow? Where do you want to expand? Where you see the best perspectives for yourself? Focus on that. Bring your mind into that and make some plans and see if you need to find something different or a new approach. Generally, this is an aspect that really triggers the mind, especially when it comes to potential areas of growth, prosperity, or some lessons that we are supposed to learn. On the other side, the moon is in Libra until 4 p.m., which is a pretty diplomatic, compromising position. It supports relationships and negotiations and overall the ability to find harmony, balance, to focus on something beautiful, something creative perhaps. And after 4 p.m., the moon will shift to Scorpio, which totally changes the atmosphere. You may feel some kind of tension. Scorpio is very good with that. You may feel also intense emotions and the need to maybe keep your own space, keep certain boundaries with other people. So be aware of that. After 4 p.m., the atmosphere is much more intense and potentially emotionally challenging. On Wednesday, things are also pretty interesting. Mars is moving to Gemini. We said that overall, for approximately the next 2 months, Mars will bring lots of focus when it comes to planning, when it comes to ideas, intellectual work, some kind of projects that are related to learning and thinking and planning. And also, Mars in Gemini can really help you to take action on your ideas. I'm personally a huge fan of this concept because from one side, I love new ideas and creativity, but I also like to be productive. So this position of Mars can help us to not only think about things, but also hopefully take some action. Again, if you want to learn more about all of this, I recommend you watch the monthly horoscopes for each sign. On Wednesday, we also have a pretty amazing aspect between Venus and Uranus. This aspect may bring some positive emotions, surprises, changes. Financially, things might be also quite exciting and beneficial. In relationships, we may experience something exciting, like a great date, or maybe even meeting someone new, or just the ability to, share feelings and experience more freedom. That's what Venus Uranus really needs: freedom and excitement. On the other side, the moon will be in Scorpio on Wednesday during the whole day, which also charges the atmosphere a lot. People may take things personally. People might be a little stuck on certain emotional states, and it's kind of difficult to switch. Hopefully Venus Uranus can help us with that, because this aspect may bring on the other side more emotional flexibility. But overall, this emotional area is pretty intense on Wednesday. And the day is actually positive for almost everything: business, finance, relationships, creativity, spirituality. So pretty energetically charged day. On Thursday, we have the conjunction between Mercury and Jupiter in Aquarius, so it's time for new and big ideas. Think about your future, think about how you want to expand, what do you want to learn, what kind of solution or answer do you need. And this combination can help you to find valuable information or advice from someone who can, be a reliable figure, and overall inspiration to focus on your future and even to achieve success when it comes to the things that you have planned. Even for business, this aspect is actually pretty positive. On the other side, Venus has a positive aspect with Saturn, which can help us to be emotionally more in control of our feelings. Also for negotiations, this is a very nice aspect for especially business negotiations or planning some financial activities. The aspect can be very positive because Venus in Pisces may bring us the inspiration and the creativity, and Saturn on the other side may really help with the practical side of things. So that's both positive for financial stuff, business stuff, plans, and even when it comes to relationships, the aspect may bring more stability. The moon is in Scorpio until 6 p.m., which means we still have this intensity, this passion, this motivation, but also fixation on things. And we usually tend to kind of like dramatize or take everything really personally. But after 6 p.m., the moon is shifting to Sagittarius, which is a totally different energy. It's lighter, it's more positive, it's more open. So towards the end of the day, around the evening, I think that you may really experience some kind of shift, and I would say some kind of relief. Then on Friday, the sun has a square with the nodes. And as we said, this is a time of reassessing our own personal goals, our direction, the lessons that we are supposed to learn. And overall, it's time to change something about ourselves. And it's a pretty karmic aspect, I would say, aspect which can really kind of like redirect you in a new direction. So think about yourself, your own lessons, your own plans, and what would you like to change in yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to judge or criticize yourself. It means, who do you want to become? Who do you want to be? And how do you want to expand in your own life? The moon is in Sagittarius, which supports this open-mindedness and also excitement and positivity and optimism, and the ability to focus on big, important, exciting things. So overall, this position of the moon usually feels pretty uplifting. On Saturday, Venus has a minor challenging aspect with Pluto, which may bring potential issues and tension in relationships. When it comes to finances also, we may not make good decisions, or we might have some kind of struggles around money and resources. And even when it comes to work or business, things might be challenging in some way. Again, you can be too emotional, or you may tend to dramatize a little bit, or you may take everything too personally, how other people respond, how they treat you. So we don't need to over dramatize, just keep in mind that there might be some tension in quite a few life areas. The good news is that the moon is still in Sagittarius, which can really help with a more positive perspective and the ability to look at things from a bigger perspective. Usually that really helps if we feel stuck, or if we feel something really negative at the current situation. If you try to look from a little distance, maybe from above, figuratively, usually this really helps. So the moon in Sagittarius can bring this philosophical understanding that perhaps all of those things are minor challenges, or they are temporary, and they will pass. And finally, on Sunday, we actually end this week with a positive aspect between Mercury and Neptune. This one is especially beneficial for creative projects, for more inspiration, for some insights and ideas that may come kind of like out of nowhere. They're not really coming from nowhere, but it's just an intuitive knowledge. And my advice is to listen to your intuition, to relax your mind. Don't push your mind. Actually, you will be more productive if you just relax and you let yourself kind of like flow in certain way. It's a great time for meditation, for a spiritual practice, for a healing practice. So really, really nice. On the other side, the moon is in Capricorn, which makes us more concentrated, more serious, more focused. We may do something really concrete, something practical, maybe plan the next week, maybe take care of some home family responsibilities. Overall, it's not a position that supports having fun and, like huge entertainment and relaxation. Usually we need to do something meaningful when the moon is in Capricorn. So Again, don't push yourself too much, relax your mind, but try to do something meaningful with that. And sometimes just, having some kind of meditation may also be really meaningful. So there are many ways to approach this. And with that, actually, we covered the first week of March. As you can see, pretty interesting, exciting week. And now I want to share with you a little bit more about this brand new experience that you are invited to. It will be an energy coaching program, which will be focused on each of our energy centers, or also known as the chakras. And we will have group meetings, 7 group meetings within a couple of months, 2 or 3 months. And it's enough time to be able to process this energy. So it's not just, day after day, you have time to process. At the same time, some big changes may happen in your life because energetically you are clearing the blockages. It will be something really innovative. We are going to use energy psychology techniques, energy coaching techniques, visualizations, meditations, and lots of holistic practices, but also some concrete ideas that we may apply. So if you want total energy recharge and shift and release, check the link below. And I hope you will join us. We are starting pretty soon. Make sure to save your spot because we may close the group earlier if we have more participants than we can take. So I really hope that you will join us. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email to support@marstars.net. Thank you again. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you really soon.